everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today we're talking ginger 101, the basics. And as usual, I have notes here in front of me because I do cover a lot of information about all these ingredients that I'm talking about. But you don't need to worry about copying anything down. I have a link to my notes in the description box below. You can go right to them, print them out as you need to for your own personal use. No issues. So just think if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and make them in the comments section below and I'll be glad to address them if I possibly can. Now, about ginger. Ginger is a rhizome and it is closely related to turmeric, which is increasing in popularity for sure. It has a thick underground stem that produces roots and shoots, and the plant itself can actually grow up to about 3 feet high, and it produces anywhere from 2 to 5 sections like the one I have here that can be harvested year-round actually. So that's a great thing about the plant. It's very prolific in that way. After the sections are washed and then dried in the sun, then they can be used for culinary purposes or medicinal purposes as well. Ginger grows in a warm, damp climate, so most of the world's ginger is grown in China, India, Australia, and even Jamaica. How about that? Now the flesh of ginger can be yellow like this one is. You can see it. It can also be white or red. I don't think I've ever seen one red. It is very pungent and very spicy and very loud in its flavor, and so it has a lot of flavor and a lot of aroma as well. Medicinal properties of ginger. Ginger originated in Southeast Asia, where it's been used by Chinese and Indian healers for literally thousands of years. And it is no wonder why. It's still used today for culinary and medicinal purposes. And studies have shown that consuming ginger can help to reduce muscle soreness, inflammation. It can relieve arthritis pain in a similar way, yet more comprehensive way than the NSAIDs, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen and acetaminophen. And yet, when taken in normal amounts, ginger does not appear to harm the stomach or the kidneys like NSAIDs can. So we need to look to alternatives if we possibly can, if we're concerned with problems associated with those drugs. Ginger may also help to reduce nausea. It can improve digestion and soothe upset stomachs. It can control high blood pressure, improve our blood cholesterol levels. It can help to fight cancer. It destroys harmful pathogens in the digestive tract, and it can relieve migraine headaches and even clear skin blemishes. Imagine that. What is there that ginger can't do? Now there is a little bit of a precautionary note here. Large amounts of ginger taken at one time. Now we're talking possibly this amount, you know, one hunk of it, one knob at a time, which this is not very big, but it would pack a little punch if you were to eat that much at one time. That amount can possibly interfere with calcium channel blocker drugs and drugs that can lower blood sugar. So you want to be careful not to eat a huge amount at one time. Truthfully, I don't know how anybody could because it's so strong in flavor. Eating a large amount like that, no wonder, could give you heartburn, diarrhea, and a mouth irritation. No kidding. I can imagine that for sure. Nutrition tidbits. Ginger has an array of vitamins and minerals, but they're in trace amounts. And considering the small amount of ginger that we normally would eat at any one time, its value as a spice and for its medicinal properties will far outweigh its nutritional benefits any day with regard to vitamins and minerals. How to select fresh ginger. You want ginger that looks smooth and fresh, has no blemishes on the skin, and that feels heavy for its size. You want to avoid anyone that looks soft and wrinkly or even has mold in it. That's obviously old. You don't want mold on there. And if it's soft and wrinkly, it's aged and not at its best for sure. So choose something else. How to store ginger. There's different ways you can store this, but generally speaking, we want to store it unpeeled, tightly wrapped in plastic, dry for sure, or in a Ziploc bag that has had the air removed, and keep it in the refrigerator. And be sure that it really is dry, because if it's not dry before you put it in there, it will invite mold and it will not last very long at all. Wrapped up properly, it should keep for about a month in the refrigerator. If you notice that it develops mold, time to toss it out. You don't want to eat that. How to preserve ginger. Ginger is found fresh, dried, crystallized, and it's even found pickled. Now, I have seen reference to where people have peeled fresh ginger and stored it in a glass jar covered with vodka or some other form of alcohol. And then it can be stored that way or preserved that way. Fresh ginger can also be stored in the freezer. A couple different ways I found. One is where you would peel it first and then finely grate it and put it into mounds, like on wax paper or a baking sheet or a plate lined with parchment paper, something like that. And the mounds would be in increments that you expect needing to use it, let's say a teaspoon at a time. So a teaspoon of grated ginger in each mound. Put it in the freezer and allow it to freeze, and then once it's frozen solid, transfer them into an airtight freezer container and it will be good to go. You may not even need to thaw it before you use it. You could take a lump and put it in your smoothie or in a stir fry or however you're going to use it. If you need to thaw it, it's not a problem. They won't take long to thaw out like that. Another way I've seen to preserve ginger in the freezer would be to just cut it up, take the knob and cut it up into whatever size pieces you anticipate needing. Put them in a freezer bag, get the air out of it, stick it in the freezer, and then when you need a hunk of ginger, just take it out and peel it if you haven't already peeled it, and it's good to go. You can use it that way. Now you can dry fresh ginger as well. It has to be peeled, and make sure you cut it into small pieces, because once it's dry it might get pretty hard and you'll have to grind it up after it's dry, and so the smaller pieces are going to be easier to grind up as well. And of course you want to follow the directions that came with your dehydrator. How to prepare ginger. Ginger needs to be peeled before it's eaten, and you can peel it with a knife, or you can scrape it with the tip of a teaspoon. A lot of people are doing that because the skin on it is very thin and it's very tender right under the skin, so it would be an easier way. Cooking and serving methods, I have some interesting info here. Ginger can be used anywhere you want that spicy, sharp flavor that it offers. It can be used in dipping sauces and dressings and rubs, pestos, teas and smoothies. It can be mixed in soups. It can be added to stir fries. You can add it to salad dressings. You can add it to vegetables as you cook them. You can do all sorts of things with ginger. It's really wherever you want that spicy, sharp flavor to go. Now you can interchange the fresh ginger with the dry ginger, but the dry will have a slightly different flavor than the fresh, and the equivalency would be 6 parts of fresh grated ginger to 1 part of dry ground ginger, so bear that in mind. I also have some serving ideas here in the notes. One is to drink it ginger tea or add it to your smoothies or something like that. You can juice it along with some vegetables, and you won't need much in there because it's going to impart a strong flavor, so a little bit's going to go a long way. You can add ginger to a raw beet salad. Sounds interesting. You can make a wonderful soup with ginger, carrots, and sweet potato. That sounds like a great combo. And what would the holidays be without gingerbread or gingerbread men cookies or ginger biscotti? something like that. So we have a lot of uses for ginger. Herbs and spices that go with ginger, we've got basil, chilies, cilantro, cumin, curry, garam masala, lemongrass, mint, miso, turmeric, and wasabi going with ginger. Foods that go well with ginger, I have quite a long list here. Produce is long. Apples, apricots, asparagus, bell peppers, blueberries, bok choy, carrots, cauliflower, celery, cherries, collard greens, cranberries, edamame, eggplant, fennel, figs, garlic, figs, and ginger. Interesting. Garlic, kiwi, lemon, lime, melon, mushrooms, onion, oranges sounds really good to me with ginger. Peaches, pears, plums, potatoes, pumpkins, scallions, spinach, squash, sweet potatoes, tamarind, watercress, and zucchini. Also goes well with poultry and fish, beef, other forms of seafood, even oats, that's an interesting one, tofu, rice, almonds, tahini, seitan, chickpeas, grains, and even lentils. Also, ginger blends well with sesame oil, soy sauce, tamari, sake, rum, seaweed, honey, cream, and even yogurt. How about that? Then I also have some suggested flavor combinations like ginger, cream, and honey, ginger, cilantro, scallions, and garlic, ginger with carrots, ginger with soy sauce, ginger with celery, carrots, and garlic, and then ginger with beef, broccoli, and soy sauce. That sounds like a usual type of stir-fry combination there. Under that, I have recipe links with a lot of recipes that you can go to and explore if you're looking for a new way to add ginger to your menu. One site has 101 ways to cook with ginger. Surely there's something in there that would be intriguing to you. 20 sweet ginger desserts, 53 ginger recipes that are just the right amount of spicy, and that is not a typo. There is ginger sweet potato soup with toasted curry croutons, ginger tea with honey and lemon, 29 ginger recipes that will spice up your life, and even more than that. So there is a lot of information here. Do feel free to go to the notes and print them out as you need them. And let me know if you have any questions below in the comments section, and I'll be glad to address them if I possibly can. This is Judi at Judi in the Kitchen. I hope this helps.